What's up, guys? So, got a late one for you, and we've also got something new. You're going to hear a noise in a second that you probably haven't heard in a very long time. That noise being a house phone ringing, because Brother Seth is going to be calling in, and I'm going live as soon as he calls in. All right, getting everything a little settled up here and ready for you. Getting this thing a little ready and settled for you. A little settled and ready. Settled and ready. I told him to call it the strike of 11:30. What up, dog? What up, dog? Oh, brother Stefan. Oh, man, Brian Jordan. What up, dogs? What up, dogs? Seth Scolaro is going to be calling in any second now. Oh, you hear that fine sound? Hello, Seth.
Hello.
Hello.
How am I sounding?
You can tell that you're on a phone, but doesn't really. How about it, Brian Jordan? Can you hear us on there? We got Brian Jordan watching live on YouTube.
Oh, nice. You know, I got to say, I was very disappointed. I listened to one of your episodes recently, and I saw that you were chatting with Brian Jordan on it. I didn't realize you were type chatting with him the whole time. I thought I was going to hear his voice live, but them's the breaks.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it was just a right on. Cool. So apparently you're clear.
All right. Where can I find this on YouTube? I'll watch the live feed with you.
You can go to just type in Kelsey Hudgens on YouTube, and I got the channel there. Oh Lord, you're going to be joining the minions of the rest of the watchers. We got a whopping 2 so far, 3 with you.
Goodness, I'll try to keep it clean. How do you spell your last name?
Hudgins.
The I. I was spelling it Hudgians.
Yeah, everybody does that. Actually, my first name, because of Kelsey Grammer and every other Kelsey in the world, they spell my first name.
Seth Scolaro, that's me.
Hey, yeah, is that a spell it right?
Yes.
Huh, cool. Did I say it right? Obviously, Scolaro. Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Whatever.
Yeah. So, world, my stuff, people, listeners, we have Brother Seth Scolaro here, the host of Happy Fun Time Trivia at Murrells Inlet and Florence and Myrtle Beach.
And North Myrtle.
And North Myrtle Beach, Mellow Mushrooms. So, hey man, how's the world?
Not too bad. Like I said, I got a little hung up, caught a state of work a little longer than I would have liked to, but comes the breaks and had a good night.
So
lucrative for the amount of labor I did, I guess.
Oh yeah, well that's always nice. So I was thinking, I usually try to do something somewhat informative to let people in, let people who don't do what we do for a living in on certain things. So what's a couple of specific things that a bar patron should never do?
Ask if their beer can be filled up all the way.
So I like just be like draft, obviously. People are
yeah. Just like if they have like an extra millimeter of head, and it's like, can I get a little more? It's like, yeah, you're really missing out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Here's $1.
Yeah.
Whoever asks you if you're good or if you want another round, just understand that that's like part of their closing statement. That doesn't mean they're trying to push drinks on you, and you don't have to yell at somebody, even if you are from New Jersey.
Oh man, you got yelled at from jerseys?
Yeah.
That's the worst. So you're from up around that area, yeah? Or are you?
I was born in Massachusetts, yes.
So that means you hate New Yorkers, correct? Is that how that works?
I mean, that's a strong word. I try not to hate anybody just because they're from a certain area, but I mean, yes, there is a rivalry of sorts.
Okay, so is this?
I mean, you think things go smooth traveling between Tuscaloosa and Auburn?
Very true. Very true.
Auburn is in the city of Auburn, right?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
All right.
I stay away from there.
I figured.
Yeah, so speaking of rivalries, there is somewhat of a rivalry. It seems as though you guys are just behind the them Yanks.
Yep. As of tonight, they have less losses and an equal amount of wins. But we've played more games.
Yeah, I mean,
But that doesn't pan out. That just means they have 3 games in hand.
and you guys. Oh, what's this, Brian? When I ask you if you for food means get the hell out. When Brian Jordan says, "When I ask if you're good, that means get the hell out." Can you see all of this on the? Can you see all of this? By the way.
Yeah. I'm guessing Brian is vinyl collector too.
Yeah.
That's hot.
He's a blue wrench.
Yeah.
But yeah. So shit. Okay. You guys are doing pretty well, and you have Craig Kimbrell, who I miss in Atlanta, and
That's lights out.
yeah, he's the best closer in the game, without a doubt.
I believe is he not the most recent? I mean, of course, he was with the Braves during this time, but I think the most recent closer to get 50 saves in a season.
That sounds about right because I know he broke John Smoltz I know he broke John Smoltz win record before we traded him to San Diego, and it probably was that year. But man,
that's a bummer.
dude, I thought the world was over. I thought the world was over when we traded him, and we got rid of Jason Hayward. And
yeah, that was a surprise move. I thought he was going to be, your up and comer.
Yeah, same here. And I was really upset about that. But
for an arm.
Yeah, but I'm not upset anymore.
Has he been schlubbing for Chicago lately?
Yeah, he's been doing really well for Chicago. He actually hit a walk-off grand slam a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I thought I saw that. I knew he had some kind of walk-off recently, but I mean, I don't know what he's hitting on the season or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I could bring it up, but either way, yeah, I'm not seeing the condition or the state of the Atlanta Braves right now. I'm not very upset about anything that we've done in the past.
I mean, the Cox curse is still going on. It's going to be a while before you can replace that guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll never replace him. And I have a theory about that too, man. He is only second. He is second only to was Earl Weaver. He's second only to Earl Weaver in ejections. And the funniest part about, or the best part about that is that Earl Weaver's Orioles and Bobby Cox's Braves played harder for them because they would go out there and get thrown out of a game. They didn't give a shit.
And that's a big part. That's a big part of showing them that Dad's here to pick on the bullies.
Exactly. Like my man was safe. I don't give. The man was safe.
No matter what, Bobby Cox's umpire scuffles always looked like he just ended it with, you're talking out your ass. Which I know actually, sound like he was from New Jersey, but you could just mime that up with him.
Yeah,
he was bothering me. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Mike fucking Trout.
Man.
All right. So for the past 3 years, maybe not so much last year because everybody on the Sox had a down year, but the year before, and then this, I mean, come on, Mookie's Mookie. And he had 2 years ago, he had him beat in every category except, forgive me, baseball fans, but because he had a higher WAR. And, well, what are your thoughts on that? Because he since the beginning of the season, he's been talked up since he's going to be the MVP again. And then Mook was having a great year and was out for a week and a half. And now Trout has overtaken him in every stat that he was leading. And it's just God damn it, it's happening all over again. At least some better physical results. But just back to what I was asking you, what are your thoughts on WAR as far as determining MVPs?
Man, here's the thing: is the MVP is Mike Trout not like the LeBron James? It's like you can't give it to him, right?
Of course, I get it. It's like if you're on a lousy team, it just makes you look better.
Yes, and not only that, but I mean, Mookie Betts when I was doing DraftKings was my first pick every team. I mean, I don't know. I don't like the fact that
You ever played any fantasy bowling? You can pick him up too.
fantasy bowling.
Yeah, he's a great bowler.
Are you serious?
Yes, he comes from a family of bowlers.
I did not even know there was such a thing as a family of bowlers.
I believe the story I read was that his mom rolled tens and then went to the hospital.
Holy smokes. That's a hell of a story.
In fact, he even competed in, whatever, I forget what the FIFA bowling is, but he was in some tournament over the summer. I mean, he didn't make the cut, but, he went out there, played professional bowling.
That's
back to DraftKings.
Back to DraftKings. So, Mookie Betts was always my number one player to pick on DraftKings, and obviously Mike Trout is one as well. But at this point, how do you hold somebody who's actually their team's most valuable player that does something for the team? I mean, what the fuck are the Angels gonna do?
I know. I mean, when it comes to a realistic argument, of course, I see what you're saying. I'm just a bitter Red Sox fan. We haven't had an MVP since Mo Vaughn in the '90s.
Vaughn. That's a name I haven't
It
heard.
would just be nice. That's all I'm saying.
That it would be.
PBA. That's the bowling. The World Series. Yeah, this summer he rolled a 300 and the PBA World Series bowling. But he did not make it in the next round, I don't believe.
Well, you can't win them all, senor. You can't win them all.
That's probably why he had tightness in his side. Fucking rolling all the time.
Oh man, you got to be careful. You got to be careful those athletes that are getting out there in the real world and fucking shit up. Like Vernon out there playing paintball in Ballers, man, blew out his knee. Did you watch Ballers, by the way?
I don't. I've thought about it a time or two, but I never have.
Oh God, it's so good. You would dig it. It's like Entourage, but better and for sports. So I didn't want to milk this whole time also with only things in the sports world, but by all means, this is gonna continue either way.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, take it where you gotta take it.
Oh no. You're so all right. How the fuck? First, I put us all over Facebook, so a lot of people knew that you were gonna be on tonight, and I know you don't have the Facebook world. How is it possible you survived this long without downloading the app?
Like for Facebook?
Yes. How long? How has it been that you?
Wouldn't that? I mean, how has it been? I don't know. I think it's been a good run.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. I don't really keep up with a whole lot of people these days. That's kind of a good thing. I don't have to be pulled into bringing my personal politics out in the public. That used to be a thing that you kept to yourself, but now, that's a whole other story. But no, that's kind of good in some ways. But I don't know, and I meet people in the real world.
Yeah, that's a crazy place, man. That real world.
I don't. Like I said, I don't regret any of it.
Oh no, and I'm not thinking that you do. I'm just wondering, after all, surely, but I don't know. I don't think any of you guys have Facebook. Do you? How many bartenders other than Cheese have Facebook at the Mushroom?
Well, I would imagine just me and my tall friend.
I don't know.
Everybody else does. What do you mean? You just mean like in my circle of friends?
Yeah. Like I don't think a lot of you and those guys have Facebook.
Oh, like anyone I would at any time consider, because we all got a few within our little particular group. Anyone that I would call my best friend or my top 6 or 7 dudes. Yes, none of us
your MySpace top 8.
Yeah, there you go. I did have a MySpace briefly, but so did everyone briefly.
Yeah, well, I would still have that. I don't know. Because I still listen to records, man. I would totally still have MySpace.
Oh,
If,
yeah.
you know, I mean, it's like I would still use Alta Vista if it were possible. I mean, you know, I'm here.
I used Alta Vista a little later than I should have too.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
I mean, I'm straight Google these days, but see, it's like I don't have to deal with any of the horse shit that a lot of other people do because I don't have a Facebook. My Google returns are usually pretty normal and cut and dry.
Oh, dude, I guarantee. I wonder how that would. I wonder what it would be like if.
I don't know.
I wonder what my Google searches would be like if I didn't have Facebook. Because that's all it is. All Facebook is a marketing tool to get you to spend more money on shit that you don't need.
Yeah, it's just, it's kind of like having a podcast every minute of your life.
It really is. It's like having a constant microphone.
It's like, I'll admit to you, I feel a little uncomfortable, like, thinking, like, I have any right to come on here and, like, talk with you, like, in a public forum, because it's like, who gives a shit what I have to say? But, everybody needs to get that out every once in a while. But with a Facebook, it's just like, I can only imagine what the temptation is like. Every time you see something you disagree with, and it's among, like, someone you trust, or, for any matter of reasons.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm glad that part of my life is free of that.
Good. Well, I mean, that's I would not use it if I weren't in this situation in which I'm trying to market myself for all these different fucking things. But I will say that I am amazed at the amount of comfort that people have in revealing they are either racist or just ignorant on Facebook, and they have no idea that they're showing the world they're airing this out on themselves, and they have no clue that they're doing that to themselves, and they don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, because I think for some people, not everybody's splitting atoms.
Yeah, that's true.
Rocket. I was about to say building rocket science. So yeah, I'm one of them. No, but I'm just saying, like, some people it just takes longer in life, I think, to actually realize what is racist and what isn't. Just because
that's a good point.
They might just cut off the socioeconomic part of it.
That's a good point.
And it's like they don't even realize it. And I don't know how you don't.
Yeah.
It's pretty apparent after a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. One of these days.
Well, thanks for bringing me down. Go to bed.
Yeah, for sure. When will the Slavs play again?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, it can wait. Build it up.
For those of you who do not know, one of the hottest bands that ever touched the Earth's surface, the Slavs. And Seth here had the most interesting attire ever from these fabled gigs that I've only heard stories of. But do you still have the sock?
Was there a sock incident?
From what I heard. Now,
let's hear it.
This is of course old school rockin' hard legend, and I mean rockin' hard like straight in the inlet.
Yeah.
That there was a gig played where you were wearing a sock.
I mean, it's very possible. I don't recall on the. That's the Slavs. I don't know if it worked in this day and age. So is the way they used to anymore.
Explain for the folks who wouldn't know at all what exactly the Slavs were.
Nudity.
Public nudity?
Yeah, not the most flattering of sorts. So, yeah, it was for shock. But,
that's the greatest thing ever, man. I mean,
I had a damn good band backing me up, and most of the credit goes to them. So that's why I had to overcompensate in some ways by, such as wearing
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do, man. I mean, whatever works.
I was proud to be with them. So
Who all was in that band with you?
Well, all right. So we're actually, let's see, what's 2 years? It'll actually be like technically a 20-year anniversary.
We're gonna talk about another 20-year anniversary in a minute, but continue your thought.
Yeah. So it was originally, I don't believe you've ever met Herb, who lives in New York now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Well, yeah, he's a very good friend of mine. It's not my best. And it was me, him, our friend John, who also lives in New York now, and Ed on drums.
Ed on drums. Ed wants to come and do an episode as well.
And Adam.
Was Adam in the Slobs?
Adam was in like the original like incantation of the Slobs.
Has there been a band that Adam wasn't in yet?
No, probably not.
Adam Justice, we're speaking of, by the way. I don't think I need to explain this because I've said Adam's name enough for people to get Adam Justice, but I'm clarifying for reasons. What a fun word. Man, so speaking of 20-year reunions, explain.
We gotta do a little music review?
Yes, we're gonna do a little music review. Explain to me because I wasn't there 20 years ago, and I had a lot of fun, but explain to me what the Beat Holes show was like. You
mean like as far as the gravitas of it?
Yes. Well, obviously the technical side as well, but start with the props.
I'll start with the technical just because
okay.
Beat Holes.
That's fine.
Like, they've all been doing it obviously for 20 years.
Yeah.
They've only gotten better, and they're gonna continue to. So as far everything sounded like it was supposed to, blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. I don't know. I'd never heard any of it before, but
I shouldn't say blah 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 because that means seems to think I guess it was just there was no surprises damn, they sound good after 20 years. It was just more oh, they're gonna sound like the best they've ever sounded.
Yeah, this is another gig.
Because they put a lot into it, in 20 years. And it's funny because the first small club show I ever went to was actually dead center in the Beat Holes at Slacker 77, which was the guys of a Christian club. And the guy used to book a bunch of Christian bands. And then it turned out he was a coke dealer. And it was just,
what?
That was just his front. Yeah. You never heard these Slacker 77 stories?
No. Please enlighten us.
I mean, that's just the gist of it right there. Like I said, it was the first small local show I'd ever gone to, and I was 15, so that was 20 years ago.
Jesus.
And so the first time I saw Ed perform or Jamie, Chip, and, Ian and the Beat Holes.
So Adam was telling me that it was literally like going back in time. He was like, everybody that was there, it was literally like you were 19 again.
All right. To put it, all right. Yes, it would be like going to a chili cook-off if you haven't been in 10
that's
years.
the best thing we got is a chili cook-off.
You know what I mean by that, though. How the chili cook-off is maybe not so much for you because you're playing shows constantly and you're down in that area.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just people I see once a year that I don't see on a regular basis anymore.
It's basically like a family reunion.
Yeah, it's a handshakes and small talk kind of day. Some stories if anything's new, blah blah blah. I keep saying blah blah blah. Yeah,
Yada yada yada. There's nothing wrong with blah blah blahs and yada yada yadas. We all get them. But so what's funny about this is when I walked into the bar and I got an O'Doul's or whatever and a water and I walked back out And I was like, dude, I have to get the fuck away from all of these people. And then I went and I was like, I sat in that random ass chair away from everybody else where you were standing. And I was like borderline panic attack at that point. And I didn't really want to talk about it because if you bring it up, it's real, you know?
Yeah. Well, now I feel bad that I came and talked to you.
No. It was perfect. I was going to say it was a good thing that you did because I was just sort of sitting there like, am I supposed to be here? I'm not, and this isn't my place. Blah. You know how your brain, I don't know if you have panic. You have anxiety at all?
Not to that extent.
Well, I mean, okay.
Never had a panic attack. I'll do one.
Okay, so I get to the point to oh, sorry, go ahead. What now?
I was just going to say, like, you know, you're just like, this is my area. Like, maybe too many people. But anyway, go on.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is my area right here. I was like, I can handle this spot right here. Like, this is fine with me. Like, and I know you. So being there, obviously you being there made it better for me because I was like, at least I have this. I associate you with Merle's Inlet now, you know, Marshwall.
Familiar face in an unfamiliar crowd.
Yes. And obviously I'm very like, and it's almost to a fault, but I'm very like home. I'm a home driven person, which Adam was like, dude, Seth could just come over, man. And I was like, I'm not going to knock on anybody for not wanting to leave their house because I am that person. I don't want to leave my house, but.
Oh yeah. That was exactly why. I want to sit here, have a couple of glasses of hooch, you know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, be comfortable.
I'm glad this worked out. I'm sorry you had to buy a cable. I didn't know that was going to be the case.
Oh, no. Well, here's the thing. I'm limited in whenever I do a lot of phone calls with Noah as well. And I like to do the YouTube live thing with my phone. How's that working out, by the way? Are you still on this?
Yeah.
Okay, how's that working out? Is that cool? I never look at it other than, well, I mean, I'll look at it, but obviously not from that view.
To be honest, it's hard for me to judge because me and you are on
sync.
A direct line, but this has a slight delay.
Yeah.
So, like, from my point of view, it just looks like there's a delay. Because I'm watching it with no sound.
Yeah, well.
You know, sir, can you turn down your radio?
Oh, sir, you get a little hot there. Bring down the volume a bit.
Sir.
But yes. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is my space or whatever. And I associate you with the inlet. I have this home. I have this not want to leave home complex that sort of fucks up a lot of shit for me, at least being away from home anyway. Like it's hard for me to have a good time, and sometimes that bleeds into other people who may be around me, like maybe the guys in the band. Like when we go out of town, I'm just unstable, and like there's a finger on the switch that could flip at any time. So seeing you there was a good thing, but yes, if I was acting weird at that moment, that's because I was just trying to decide whether or not I was in the right place.
Well, I'm glad it turned out you're in the right place.
Yes, and I actually had a great time at the end at hearing their Freebird. I told Adam, by the way, that you told me that was their Freebird, that song. By the way, for those not, I keep making references that I'm not explaining to those who might not get them, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, you're going to have to refresh my memory, too.
The beat holes, by the way, I had never heard them before, but it's a couple of guys that I've played in several different projects with, and I got to see them do it was a very much punk show, and I'd never been to a punk show, air quotations. So Adam Justice was riding with me, and I'm having this borderline panic attack, and I decide, man, we got to get out of here. But Adam's like, dude, come on, stay, it'll be fun. You know how Adam does this thing.
Yeah.
So he was like, dude, stay, it'll be fun. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll hang around for a little while. And it ended up getting a little better. I had a good time, and then eventually I made it to where I could actually go inside and stand with people. And I was standing next to Seth here, and they started playing shit. Fall away, fall away, fall.
No Suburban Patty.
I don't know about that. It was, I don't know. It was like their Freebird. You said
Fly Away.
Fly Away. There you go.
Well, no, that's the same song. Oh, well, that's just the name of the song.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
The one that's like, it made you fly far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like, this is their sorry, but it's in the same place for so long.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that song. And you leaned over and you were like, this is their Freebird. And just the energy that the room put out during that song was like,
oh, as soon as they heard that,
everybody went nuts.
yeah.
That was quite something to see.
Oh, because we were talking about Freebird earlier, weren't we?
Yes, we were. Recycle your plastics, people of the world. So I started doing. I don't know how many. I don't know if you listen to any at all, honestly. But if you, I always do the recycle your plastics thing. I started doing it one day, and now I do it every time. So yeah, recycle your plastics, Seth. And you know what? Don't.
I used. Well, it's a weird thing. Like when I moved into my new house, there was a trash can and a recycling bin.
Oh, nice.
And then like a week later, this truck came down the street and picked up all the recycling bins, and they never came back, and that was a year ago.
Those slack jokers.
So I mean, I try to keep a build up in the garage, and I'll go to the dump occasionally, but
yeah, I do the dump. I do the dump thing.
Not going out of my way too much time just for some plastic. Sorry, hippies.
Well, I'll try to counter. I'll try to counter that.
We're always gonna have trash.
We're always gonna have trash. Well, see, here's the thing, and I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson say this. We are the dirtiest because listen, our like what do you call our atmosphere surrounding Earth is filled with so much debris that if an alien life form were to drive past it, they would be like, "Look at that garbage planet." Then nobody can get in or out because there's so much debris and shit. So yeah, there's always gonna be trash, even space.
Well, I mean, space needs its trash. You want your phone to work for your Facebook, right?
Hey, there you go. There's a good point. That's some space trash.
And I mean, like, all right. See, you know what? If you want to have like a weird advanced like talk on recycling and future of the Earth and whatnot, but in a ridiculous way, then yeah, like, who cares if we throw trash into space? It's space.
It is space.
It's incomprehensibly big. Throw all the trash out there you want. This is our solar system.
It's only here for us. We're the only ones in it.
I mean, like, it's not going to bump into anything.
Yeah, speaking of we're the only ones in it, Ed Tanner wants to come on and do a talk about aliens.
Oh, okay.
How do you think? You think that'll go? That'll go. He seems very passionate about this thing.
Aliens haven't been getting a lot of love the past few years or so. I feel like they kind of dropped off the radar.
I think this because they're real.
Oh, they literally dropped off the radar. I get it.
Hey-o.
Scared so much. But no, I think aliens might have ruined it. Like, it just made it kind of just stupid and, like, just cliche pop culture horse shit. And, I'm sure there's some people out there that I used to believe in, fucking what are they called? Unaki or the Inunaki. I used to believe in the Unaki. No, everybody fucking believes in the Unaki.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
They were the Nephilim. They were in the Bible. What?
I don't even. Oh, the eunuchs. Okay.
I don't know if it's eunuchs, but like, not the eunuch. It's like one of like these terms or theories that like aliens were in the Bible and stuff. It's like the the original cool one. What's the author's name? Zechariah Stitchin, I think.
That sounds about right.
And it's about how, like, you know, aliens came to Earth years ago and, like, created humans by mixing our DNA, or their DNA with ape DNA, maybe, or...
Listen, I'm not above the possibility of that being realistic. I don't. I wasn't there.
More people than me have told me it's not true. You brought up Mr. Tyson earlier.
Indeed, yes.
So, like, I'll go with that for now, but it's always a fun subject to discuss.
He seems to believe that the amount of habitable planets that are in, like, even neighboring solar systems, there's just too many, that the probability of us existing at the same time as another advanced civilization is just astronomically improbable. And those are all of the big words that I know.
It's like, take the improbability of there being life on one other planet. Now take the improbability of, yes, them advancing at the same rate and growth as us. And it's just like, no, probably not.
Yep.
And then figuring out how to travel.
Exactly. That's the kicker. Like, there'd be no way they could figure out how to get here or us get there.
You know, is that ever going to be a thing? Just considering, you know, well, right now they say, and like I said, smarter people than I tell me you can't go faster than the speed of light, so I tend to believe them.
Yeah.
If that's the case, you know, we're just going to get used to things around here.
Yeah, we may as well just get used to the things around us, get the fuck off Facebook and talk to somebody.
Yeah, go to fucking Mars. I can't wait till we colonize Mars, so that people from Earth can hate people from Mars.
On Facebook.
Yeah. Well,
that'll be the only way you connect with people from Mars. Is through Facebook.
She thinks she's hot shit because she moved to Mons Olympus.
That's fucking great. They have no idea. Hey, Mars has been shining bright over the last couple nights. Beautiful red in the night sky. Yeah, it really has. It was beautiful last night.
I might have to go outside and take a look.
Yeah, and it was. You'll see it. I'm sure it'll. Yeah. You'll know which one it is. But
the big red one. What do you know?
Yeah, that one. So I don't know if you've ever looked into the. This was on Reddit a couple years ago. It was someone went on Google, like Google Earth, and also on Google Earth you could also go to like other planets.
Yeah.
Well, someone went and did like close-ups on Mars, and there's like what seems to be a warehouse facility with a truck parked in the parking lot. Obviously, in the state of the internet, anything can be created, but a lot of people seem to believe that this was a real image. Did you ever see that?
Like you can send me?
Yeah, let me find this. Truck on Mars. I think I can. You've got the iMessage, right?
Oh yeah. Just, throw it up on the top chat.
Yeah, let me get truck on Mars, Google Earth. There we go. Secret Mars base found in Google Maps. I can send
That's
you.
One where they're taking all the children, right?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Oh, sorry, wrong podcast.
Oh no, Sunset Grill. That's the Sunset Grill. Speaking of which, we recorded Sunset Grill on Monday. We did another.
I know. No, I listened. Oh wait, Monday?
Yeah.
Oh wait, did you do the Pizzagate episode?
Not quite Pizzagate, but we hinted to it, and we definitely put it out in the open that we're going to be doing it.
Was it the season opener you're talking about, or did you do episode 2?
We did pretty much the season opener, like basically just our little warm up. Like we didn't really have a topic or anything. We just kind of riffed.
Yeah, no, I listened to it. I listened to it yesterday. I didn't realize.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Like
the one with Blair and Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I mean, surely
I mean, yes, it looks like a very large facility. I mean. It is actually a Google data center being built in anticipation of future Mars settlement. Oh,
so literally, Google Mars data center.
I thought it meant it was just a design, and that's what they projected, but
it seems this.
It was posted on March 31st.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I got.
I figured it just meant they put a picture of what they wanted to build, or what, planned to build on there. Which fucking, yeah, of course, yeah. Google's got to be the first thing to go to Mars. I mean,
yeah. We haven't even colonized yet.
Yeah. You go there for Dad, they don't even have Wi-Fi.
I bet they do have Wi-Fi.
What's this do? Just hang out by the sulfur pool all day?
I bet they get a better connection there than at Bubba's.
Oh yeah, I've heard this bad reception.
Oh yeah, it's a tin can. You're inside a fucking tin can. You're not getting anything in there. The famed Bubba's Love Shack of Merle's, South Carolina, ladies and gentlemen.
That must be great. I'm envious of Noah for that, for having that anti-trivia gambit in place.
Yeah, right.
Anti-cheating trivia.
Dude, I'm not joking. It literally does make it damn near impossible to. Well, of course, if you have data, you can get anything you want. But that's how we win all the time. We cheat like fuck.
Speaking of cheating at trivia, did I tell you I had to disqualify a team the other night?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Was it just randoms?
Yeah, it was some randoms. They were out of towners. All right. So the guy comes up and signs up. He's this doofy looking guy,
Jersey. Jersey.
And let me preface this with saying no offense to the fans or the citizens of that region, but he's just head to toe in Buckeye gear. And I was like, all right, so what's your team name? Looking at him, I was like, he's just gonna say the Buckeyes. And he's like, well, we're from Ohio, so I don't know. And he thinks for like a second or two, and he's like, all right, how about the Buckeyes?
Zing.
Don't say. And so first half they were doing pretty well, but they were turning their answers in quick, which is always a good, sign that someone's not cheating. And then the second half, something changed, and they were taking a little longer. It looked like there was something going on. I could see the guy under the table with his phone, and I had somebody at the closer table double check for me, and sure enough, when I walk up on him, and he's just got it under his table, he just pulls it up, and he's like, no, I wasn't even. Before I even say anything to him. And I was just like, sir, I'm sorry. I've seen you now. He's like, well, I got the last question wrong.
They think that warrants it.
Yeah, well, it was kind of an ungoogleable question too. It involved a movie in a year, and he still put a movie from that year. So it's he just looked up movies from that year, as a last ditch effort. And then I think it was his daughter at the table was just like, come on, you were cheating. And he's like, what did I? She's like, just admit it. You cheated a few times. And I was like, sorry, sir, you're disqualified.
If your daughter's selling you out, you deserve to take a hike.
Somebody in your own party calls you out. It's just probably because she's upset at the example you're setting.
Exactly. I mean, that's horrible.
Because, yeah, and forgive me for being so passionate about something, but it's a big part of my life. Cheating at trivia is akin to stealing. Because if he's doing it for winning gift certificates to that particular establishment, and you get it by unlawful means,
that's thievery. It definitely comes from the same well as thievery. 100%. That's the same. Yeah. Those spring from the same body of water.
Can I get somebody at work now to draw on one of those pretty pink chalkboards,
No cheating.
Trivia, and you'll lose a hand.
ahead, man. Let's get biblical with it. I love it, man. You know what I think? And this is crazy. I think they should bring back public executions. Listen, you want to fucking.
All right, let's hear it.
You listen. Do you want an entire country of well-behaved people? Show them the consequences.
Well, but I got to ask where you're going to stand on it when the death row inmates start refusing to stand for the national anthem.
Well, at this point,
like, do they not get to play? Is it just a beheading right there?
No. See, here's the thing. Now, I'm pretty sure me and you have had this conversation in person before, but why is all right? Are the players or the hypothetical death row inmates? Are they not practicing what being an American is more so than the ones who are trying to stop them from doing so?
Wait, I thought we were talking about public executions.
We are, but you sidetracked me, and I couldn't help but ask that question. All right.
No. Of course, I said my piece to you. Yeah, exactly. That's the symbol of message should never be more important than the message.
Never, and that's the worst. That's the worst thing ever that could have happened was the fact that no one is paying attention to what they're trying to bring light to because they're too blinded by what they think is patriotism is actually nationalism.
Precisely. Which brings me to another point of patriotism and the very sad month we're all going to have as Americans. As the United States did not qualify for the World Cup. So
I mean,
it's been a rough one so far, and you might not even realize it, and a lot of people who don't watch it, the World Cup, won't.
yeah.
But I mean, all you got to do is do one. But like you mentioned, patriotism, and it's like that the World Cup and the Olympics, like those are like times to shine in patriotism. Whereas, like, with everyday life, you don't really need to, like, piss it out there all the time just for the sake of saying it. But, like, just the fact that, like, this World Cup, I don't get to feel, like, that added boost of patriotism because of, like, our guys out there, like, on the national, or the international pitch. The international pitch, scoring some goals and doing some dribbles.
The biggest sporting event in the world.
Headers and the free kicks, and it's like, you don't get that sporting patriotism that you only get with that in the Olympics.
Now that's a
and I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Justified war.
Wait, say that one more time.
I said, and in times of justified war.
Yes.
Is when you should overdo it. Let the patriotism affect you.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only thing is I don't think that people these days have the ability to cut that faucet of patriotism off before it turns into nationalism. You sort of, am I making sense? Kind of.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, where it's just you're with us or against us.
Yes, exactly. And it's
my idea of what my country is should be everyone.
Yes, and folks have a hard time believing that somebody else may have a different opinion of the things around them than they do.
Thing is, like you could ask 25 random people their opinion on something as big as that, and you might get a different answer with everyone. Depends on the randomness you choose your inquiries.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's got a different idea to some extent. I mean, some people might broadcast on one spectrum. Even those people that have different feelings, but they're just uniting under one banner. No pun intended.
Yeah.
But, I think everybody's got a different idea of how you feel, how things work. And so it's like,
I did this long drawn out explanation of how the folks who are peacefully protesting rather than standing out in the middle of the road and stopping people from getting to work or whatever ways in which other protests have been done. These guys are doing the exact opposite of that, and peacefully so. And now it's getting to the point to where this is they're practicing their Americanism more fully than those who are trying to limit that. I compared it to the that seems very like communist China. That seems very North Korea to me, to force someone to stand up for this song. Like, that seems like something they do in North Korea, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, here's a fun fact too. Is why I think a big part of it is it's something that's ingrained in our mind just from doing it every day in school. But the Pledge of Allegiance was actually, like, I don't know if you ever heard this story, was just a marketing gimmick for a guy who sold flags.
Really?
That is why, like, kids, like, now have time-honored tradition of pledging allegiance to the flag in schools, because did he write it too?
I bet that guy. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, it's a race to the internet.
Your internet's probably quicker than mine. Francis Bellamy.
Francis Bellamy in 1892. Minister, it's around that time.
Huh.
In 1888, he begun a campaign to sell U.S. flags at public schools as a premium to solicit subscriptions, because they worked for a magazine.
Wow. That's fucking hilarious.
4 years later, 1892, the magazine sold U.S. flags to approximately 26,000 schools.
So it worked.
How does this work? Do I just cite Wikipedia?
No.
Keep YouTube free.
Well, here I'm pretty sure that because we're not because there's no monetary exchange from anybody, like other like I don't think that there's any.
Wait, I'm not getting paid for this.
Well, you are, but they're not. Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to be at trivia tomorrow. I'm off.
Well, yeah, I heard something that suggested you might be.
Yes, I'm. We're leaving to go to Boone on Friday morning. So yeah, definitely gonna be able to be there tomorrow. But Boone after the band, and I'm not gonna go into this at all because of sensitive information. But right after the band's had the biggest fight we've ever had over the last 2 or 3 days, and now we're gonna go off in Boone and be together for fucking 3 gigs in 2 days. It's gonna be great.
The air's gonna be thin.
No, we're fine. We've been doing this shit a long time. We're all adults, but
no, I just mean, isn't Boone in the mountains?
Oh, I get it. Because you were speaking literally.
Yeah, the air, so yeah.
Yes. The air will literally be thin. It's like 60, 70 degrees up there right now. 60, 70, something like that. It's going to be awesome, especially since we're in this fucking furnace of South Carolina right now. Speaking of trivia.
Oh, man, hold on. Before we go any further.
Okay.
Can I tell you one more little fact? Oh, Jesus. The recital was accompanied with a salute to the flag known as the Bellamy Salute, described in detail by Bellamy. During World War II, the salute was replaced with a hand-over-heart gesture because the original form involved stretching the arm out towards the flag in a manner that resembled the later.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And if you go to the Bellamy Salute page, yeah.
Oh, I'm still on here. I got to see this.
You're going to see a bunch of little kids.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, man.
The Bellamy Salute. Oh, wow. Children performing the 1941 Oh boy.
Uh,
I'm about to share this picture on the internet right now.
oh, jeez.
I
For
should
Christ, Kelsey, if I get a death threat,
dude, bro. Listen, I've been dealing with Noah Byrne throwing around Clinton's names for the last year. I think we're safe. I think we're good. I mean, if anybody's gonna get picked off,
people hear it.
yeah, if anybody's gonna get picked
Nope.
off, it'll be him over her.
Just remember, Noah shoots himself in the head twice. Might not have been him.
Yeah, probably wasn't him. So he had this theory. What'd you think of his? You listened to the episode. What'd you think of his Weinstein theory?
That was pretty good. I got to give it to him. Like that one. I mean, oof. And like, cause all right, the difference between Weinstein and like having that kind of scandal in a political spectrum is everything about a politician's life is going to be scrutinized and looked into and have people on you constantly. Yep. Whereas with him, it's the same, but he's not held to the same scruples. So it's like he could, someone like him, I can believe it because he would slide, just slide it in there all nastily and creepily and just in his like super villainy style. And so yeah, why not?
It seems.
I have nothing to say otherwise. I mean, he seems like a pretty fucking horrible person.
Yeah.
I didn't really go into too much in reading like all the accounts because like when it first broke, all I needed was just that audio recording of him getting the no-name girl into a hotel room, or at least attempting to. Which was that a sting?
I don't know, man. It had to have been.
Hearing his spiel and just his manner of going about it, it's just like, yeah, this guy's
scumbag.
I've met guys like this before, and yeah, no good.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, the bathrobe thing. Like that's what makes it. That's what makes it. And for you guys who aren't familiar with that, I got another podcast that I do called Sunset Grill, and definitely check that out as well. So you'll be able to catch up on all the weird shit that gets recorded in this room. But Noah Byrne, who you've heard me reference on this episode, on this podcast before, has a theory that Anthony Bourdain and potentially Kate Spade were maybe it like had evidence against Harvey Weinstein, and he's literally going to be going to trial soon, and he's trying to pick off people who could incriminate him. And this theory of Anthony Bourdain, who technically hung himself with a bathrobe tie, which apparently Harvey Weinstein's calling card is wearing a bathrobe every time he's sexually assaulted or whatever, uncomfortably did something to some female. So just to catch you guys up on that. And I looked into the Kate Spade thing, finding out that she was involved in the Hillary shit. So maybe what if Weinstein and the Clintons and all of this whole charades, what if this is all together and all the Pizzagate shit and all the other stuff? What if all that's one giant or small anthill that just burrows so far underground?
Wait, what was the actual question?
All right, so what do you think the possibility of all of these things being connected are? Like what percentage of possibility do you think that this Weinstein thing, the Pizzagate stuff, all of the child sex trafficking, all of that stuff, how connected do you think all of this stuff is, if at all?
Oh man.
I know that's a loaded question, and I'm sorry, I'm riffing. I'm not even.
We're gonna go there. Are you sure you don't want to save this for the sunset?
I mean, yeah, probably. But I don't know. I don't have any bullet points. I'm just talking today.
Oh, I could.
We're just speculating for the sake of
yeah,
a minute.
Like, of course, I've done my fair share of looking into things and whatnot. And I don't know. I was, since before, when I was kind of into that thing, and then it's like you just kind of believe anything. So then you try to learn to like distance yourself and try to, filter out.
Look at it from further back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just works either way, where it's like you can connect all these dots that seem ridiculous to somebody else. You know, it's like, well, like both of you can say it's just a series of coincidences and mean two different things.
Yeah, well, 100%.
Or I guess one would be saying, or how could it be a coincidence? And, you know, but it just seems, so I guess without getting too deep into it, I'll just say like a harsh truth. And it's that powerful men like young girls.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying like pedophilic. I'm just saying they don't check IDs.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that I'm
You know?
100% on that. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I mean, that can really. It's just that's it. I mean, you get to a certain point when you have enough comfortability in your life, and it's just like, yeah, the wife is for the outside life, and then
Friday nights for the girlfriends at the Copa.
Yeah, and bringing the checks.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The Hungarians.
So.
Yeah, I think maybe just like, of course, like it's a problem.
Yeah.
Because, you know, just because it's like, oh, she's only a 17-year-old underage prostitute, it's like she still most likely did not choose that life. So, I mean, that's a larger issue to address. But as far as thinking like there's this weird interwoven connected, it's probably just like, you know, it's just like for that kind of thing, it's like one of the only things that organized crime is left to do. So, I mean, yeah, it probably is all connected some way.
It seems very organized to me. Like,
I mean, I'm sure it's different in every major city.
Yeah, that's true.
And, you know, and I don't want to say too much because the extent of my knowledge comes from the Taken movies and Punisher comic books. So, like, I don't want to, you know, try to sound like a geopolitical expert on Eastern European trafficking all this, but.
So is that what the Punisher thing's about, though? Not to sidetrack you, but I noticed that the Punisher this season was like diving into all of this, like conspiracy, like every conspiracy theory. Is that what the Punisher's all about? Because I don't do the comic book thing. I don't know this.
All right. Well, no, wow, that's cool that, you know, I didn't even mean to bring it up, but it's cool that you bring that up because the new Punisher series on Netflix is not completely. I mean, it takes aspects from like the whole mythology of the Punisher, you know, and his entirety of existence. But like storyline, it draws more from the line from Marvel Max, which was like 2004 to 8, I want to say. But the writer on it was Garth Ennis, who he's the writer. He got his start doing Hellblazer. With the movie Constantine, the Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah. I love Constantine.
Yeah, really? Well.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I like movies like that. I like Van Helsing too.
It's not. Yeah, but it's so far. But anyway.
Yeah, I know.
And he did. You ever watch Preacher? Are you familiar with that?
I've heard of it, but I haven't. I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, well, he did that. Garth Ennis. He did like the R-rated version of the Punisher for a run for about 60 issues. He said the early mid-2000s, and I think that's where they're drawing these stories from. But one of the stories, it was like 8. I think it was 8, like 8 miniseries within the 60-issue or so run.
Yeah.
Forgive me from getting all comic book nerdy on you, but
No. By all means, I'm curious.
But yeah, one of the storylines, and I've heard rumors that that's what season 2 is going to be about. It's just called The Slavers, and it's about, I believe, maybe Albania. I think it's about. Once again, I could just be thinking of Taken though when I say Albanian, but just like a prostitution ring where they take girls from their villages in the home country and then ship them over to New York. And of course, Frank finds the family that does it. You know, kills them all violently. But
See,
so if they're gonna do season 2 based on that storyline, it's a powerful story. It's emotional. It'll leave you glum. It's got a bittersweet ending. It's got a bitter ending actually.
yeah, well, they all kind of do. Even the movie in the 2000s.
With Tom Jane.
Yes,
Yeah.
with John Travolta when he still looked like John Travolta. Yeah, that one. I mean, I liked that when I was but I didn't read comic books as a kid, and everybody sees my Batman glasses, and they always like want to talk to me about comic books, and I know nothing about this world. I just like the movies. Like I still use black and yellow Batman because of Michael Keaton.
Batman. Yeah. Like
I mean,
Batman or Superman are like, like pop culture icons. Like anyone can like them.
exactly. But I don't know. Maybe I look like the type. I don't know.
Glasses and a beard. Talking to this guy.
Yeah. I mean, put me in a box, will you? Okay. So I had a couple of things written down to ask you, and I've asked you most of these things. What do you think is your strongest trivia category as a player?
As a player?
Yes.
Geography.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
hard to believe.
No, I mean, I would expect you to say like, I don't know, it's something entertainment driven. I don't know why.
All right, here's my answer to that. There's going to be like tens of thousands of movies and records I never listened to. But,
There's only X amount of countries.
I can see every country.
Huh. That's a really interesting way to look at it. See, that's why you're the host and I'm the trivia E. Is that a word? Did I just make that up?
It's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're getting somewhere around the hour, 10-minute range. So we're going to wrap up in a second. But first, I usually
covered everything.
I don't know. Hey man, we can roll tide. It's up to you. What do you got? Anything else you want to hit on?
No, I think I hit it all.
Hit me, man.
Powerful people like underage girls.
I'm gonna name this "The Powerful People Like Underage Girls Talk."
I mean, they are, it's like it's been happening since the dawn of time, and there's probably nothing we can do about it.
Oh, it's in the Bible. Solomon had 1,300 concubines, man. No, you're right. I don't. Maybe later. That'd be a whole nother. That'd be a whole nother thing. I enjoy the history in the Bible.
Oh, who doesn't?
Yeah, I love it.
Like the choice nug you just pulled out right there. It's like,
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's just a countless more of those that
It's like, oh, sorry, Mormon. Sorry, that part's not in your Bible.
Look at what I got.
56 Brigham Young. This guy had 1,300. Then he killed them.
Yeah, he killed them all. And no, he had like 800 wives and 1,300 concubines. Like he had, and it's said that he had more riches than the world would ever see. And that I love hearing about stuff like that, man. And the one thing that I do like about the Bible stories, and I'm not going down this because this is an entire other podcast, is the fact that every hero in the Bible is pretty much a fucking shitty person.
Yeah.
Every hero in the Bible is like a shitty person. Like David had a guy killed. Moses killed a guy.
Isn't the whole point of those stories to to show like the weakness of man and like how every man has his faults?
Yeah.
And so it's like every story is about the worst example of these people.
Exactly, and that's pretty much just goes to show no matter how shitty you've been in your life, there's still chance for redemption, which is the greatest story ever told. That's why the Bible's the greatest story ever told. And I'm a Christian and I believe in that stuff, and I never throw it on anybody or you. I'm pretty sure you're aware that it doesn't get in the way of me being a normal human. But there's too many people who it does get in the way of them being a normal human, and that's what makes it sad for the rest of us.
I agree.
But I'm totally not going down that road.
What?
I'm totally not going down that road. But hey, finish your thought.
Are you sure? I thought you wanted to.
Okay, well, fuck it. Let's go.
That Solomon guy, he sounded like a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's pretty rough.
But who wasn't back then?
You're right. Everybody was except for that Samaritan, that one guy. There was one guy. He was from Samaria.
His first name was good. He kind of had a lot to live up to.
Yeah. He eventually started a popular Canadian band, the Matthew Good Band. They were very good. That's the end of my story there.
Is that really a Canadian band?
You never heard of Matthew Good Band?
No, should I have?
I'll send you a link. They're pretty good. It sounds like the 90s, and there's nothing. Let's be real. There's nothing better than the 90s. Maybe not. Not to me. Maybe that's just my opinion.
Oh no! I just said the 90s are good stuff.
Anywho, I was saying, I always finish each episode with giving the listeners 3 things to listen to and 3 things to watch. You don't have to do 3 and 3, but give the folks something they wouldn't normally find in a normal vessel of advertisement and such that they should listen to or watch.
Oh, you do yours first.
Well, I didn't really have any. I'll tell you what. Listen to Matthew Good Band. Listen to Matthew Good Band.
Do that.
Damn it! I'm sending this this good song to you here. It's fucking awesome.
I mean, is it actually a good song, or is it just good by default because it's by the Matthew Good Band?
I'll let you be the judge. I obviously like it. As far as things to watch, I've been watching Jurassic World like over and over the last couple of days. I love those movies. I love corny movies. Like, I'm a nut for corny movies. Like, even the Roman Polanski ones, I like The Ninth Gate, which is like I would say the stepchild of Roman Polanski films. But
I've never seen it. I didn't know that was a Polanski film.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's
Yeah, throw Polanski in there, didn't you?
Did I I mean
all right. Polanski went too far. All right, compared to all the other powerful men who like underage prostitutes.
I had to throw Polanski in there.
Polanski, he's pretty far down. Meaning like in the bad way. Not like
Yes.
Oh, here's another thing. You ever heard how like Courtney Love claimed she sucked Ted Nugent's cock when she was 12?
What? Is that real life?
I'm just telling you what I heard.
I mean, let's.
Do I have to cite something?
No. You know, you're good. I'm gonna look it up right now. Ted Nugent's jailbait problem, 2014. 12 and a half. Holy shit. This is Huffington Post too, so it's gotta be legit. Wow.
All right.
Ted Nugent raped me when I was 12, according to Courtney Love. This whole good old Teddy. This is awful. What is this world coming to?
Cat scratch fever, it sounds like.
It, yeah, exactly. A little wango tango. So, any what?
Wango Tango with the under 8 tango.
The of the Wango family. So, anything to listen to? Anything to watch? We can go with the Punisher.
I mean, you can read that. I wouldn't, I guess if you want to watch the Netflix series, watch it. It's all right.
It's all right.
John Bernthal goes, a lot.
That guy who plays him is like the most versatile dude. Like I remember seeing him on Walking Dead, and I only watched like the first couple episodes of Walking Dead, and I gave up. And then I saw him in Wolf of Wall Street, and I was like, "Is this really the same fucking guy?" Like he's like transformed every single time, and he's somehow, to me, it seems he may look the same to everybody else, but he look like different fucking people in every one of those things to me.
And the Punisher is just kind of like his guy from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I guess so. But I haven't watched it, so.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Well, entertaining as it is, watch it if you like, folks. We'll have you some more watch and listen things coming at you soon.
Wait, no, hold on. I do have something to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm sorry for everyone who's suffering Star Wars fatigue, but I never will. And as soon as Star Wars movies stop making money, they're going to stop making them. So everyone, please go see Solo. It's actually pretty fucking good. Let's at least get it above $200 million domestically. That way they'll make another movie.
I like that thought process.
Who doesn't want more Star Wars movies? Like, you're doing it a disservice if you haven't gone and seen it. It's a fun flick. It's unnecessary, but it's fun. It's good. It's everything you need it to be. It goes exactly how you think it would go.
You see, I love movies that do that.
Visualize.
And how do you feel now? Me and Noah disagree largely on this, but he hates movies that turn out exactly like you expect them to, which I'm sure you know. I love movies that turn out exactly like you expect them to because I don't know, I like that.
Well, with Solo, when I say it turns out exactly like I expect you to. It's just like it cleans up all the loose ends about his origin story, I guess you could say.
Okay, I like that.
Without saying any spoilers, it's like every little thing about him is it all happens in a weekend. But it's still like who gives a shit? Like when I was in 7th grade, I never thought 20 years later, or 25 years later, like Star Wars movies come out every year. Like, so keep them coming. Who gives a shit if they're good or bad? It's a fucking Star Wars movie.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way about a Harry Potter movie. I don't give a shit. Fantastic Beasts might not have been the greatest, but I fucking watched it. And I know Harry Potter is my Star Wars. Now, I'm a new Star Wars fan. I do love Star Wars now, but I used to, I didn't get it for the longest time.
Hey, yeah, it's not for everyone.
But man, when Or is it? Dun 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 dun. I don't know. I love Star Wars now, and I talked a lot of shit about it. Like I really did. I used to bash Star Wars, like publicly on Facebook. Bro, you think that people lash out at somebody when they come out on Facebook as being pro-Trump? Say fuck Star Wars on Facebook. Yeah.
No, Star Wars.
Bad idea.
The first tier of social media hatred, definitely. Like that trumps everything.
No pun intended.
Boy, and watch these kids go.
Exactly. Fuck Star Wars, and then they will disown you and your family.
Oh, Star Wars fans, but it's like I can look at it from both sides of the spectrum. On many sides of the Star Wars side, it's just like watching kids on the internet yell at each other about Star Wars and try to shame the actors and whatnot. It's just like, hey, mainstream culture. This is what I always wanted. I'll take it.
Well, not only that, Star Wars is creating, especially now that Disney has it, Star Wars is creating generations of fans
Yeah.
and followers. Like that's like Star Wars is the Michael Jordan of movies.
You do realize it's going to replace Christmas someday.
Oh, Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Dude, I mean, dude, it totally
They
will.
have a tree with an Ewok village going up around it. That's how you decorate it.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean, shit, it's better than these pagan practices that we've been throwing around for years calling godly.
Oh, man. Then on Christmas Eve, it's like, can I open my Star Wars present? It's like, all right, you can open your Star Wars present. And that's your Star Wars themed present. And then the next morning, you get, like, gifts that, like, help you in other aspects of life. But, like, that's your pop culture fixes on Christmas Eve around midnight. It's like, can I open my Star Wars? And it's like your pajamas or your toothbrush or your bath towel or your car wrap.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Or your grilling apron with Vader's.
There's a Kylo Ren stool that comes with a bathrobe belt.
Oh man. He's not going to do it. It's not worth it. So, being a new Star Wars fan, my favorite Star Wars movie would probably shock you. What is your favorite as an old school fan? Like you had it from childhood, right?
Yeah.
What was your favorite? What's your favorite?
Return of the Jedi is the one I enjoy the most.
Everybody says that one.
That's quite different in my line of interaction.
My favorite is Episode 3.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, if you were late to the game, then
Yes,
that makes sense as one. Oh, let me ask you this: did you watch Star Wars in order of episodes?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, I did it right. I did it the right way.
It's like, dude, if that's the case, we're gonna be on here for another 3 hours because I gotta pick your brain.
No. I did it the right way. Like I saw and not only that, I grew up in the world in the 90s, man. Like I heard all the references. I knew the big punchline. Like I knew that Vader was his father. Spoiler alert. I knew that.
Whoa, brah.
Like, I mean, I knew all of that going into this. So I think that stole a little bit of the magic from me.
Yeah.
So
Well, then it makes sense for you to be more interested in like the origin story.
yeah, like
the drama of the first.
I want to know what made him that way, and I got to see that in Episode 3, and I was like, well, I mean, I like Episode 3 was one when I cried, like, and I cry in movies. I'm unashamed of that. Like I get emotional with inanimate character with characters. I love it. And man, just when in Episode 3, the one scene, you know the one I'm talking about, like I just wept.
Wait, what? Like I Hate You?
Yes.
It came out in 2005. You don't have to worry about spoilers. You can describe it in detail.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
oh wait, do you not want to? Like, is it a place you don't want to go to?
oh no. I was just being kind for the folks in case there's somebody out there who has not seen Star Wars. I'm a person who didn't like Star Wars. I was not a fan, and I watched it, and I fucking changed my mind. Like the story's good. There's no plot holes really. Like everything is explained. Like everything comes full circle, and it's a well written story. And I'm a fan of writing. And I mean it's a well written story, I think. But I really like the origin. I really like the where they came from and why they became that way. And yeah, and the lava, man, in the lava, he's just standing there. You were my brother. You were my brother.
Exchange. Maybe how they got there was not how I would have seen it. But I mean, that's the curse of being the Star Wars fan who was gifted more movies. That's the thing you gotta understand. It's like going back, like after 1983, like
they thought that was it.
World knows it's done. It was just these 3 movies, and they all like still like a decade after, like they held their own, and like they were considered cultural icons. And then something snapped. And
yeah, I mean,
you can probably keep making money off this.
Oh, like I said, they're
Willow didn't do too hot. Great movie though.
they're the Michael Jordan of movies, basically. Like nobody's done this before. Like they've branched out all the way. If you got a Lego series, you've made it. Let's be real.
Right. Never delved much into the Lego series side of it.
Yeah, me neither. But apparently,
it's a gateway for the kids.
Yes, a very good gateway for the kids. But apparently, in the is it the Clone Wars or is that just the animated? That's not Lego, but the Clone Wars is like a
It's just that was the Cartoon Network show.
Yes. I hear that there's a lot of like backstory, like Vader backstory and other shit in that.
Oh yeah, of course. That was like a make-up call. Like, all right, we have to do this series now because we didn't explore enough as to why these 2 guys were actually friends. When in fact this one was just kind of like being an asshole the whole time. The other one was just doing his best. So they were like, all right, well, let's expand it till like more than the 2 times they had a fight.
Yeah, that's sort of like maybe the and I haven't watched it yet, but I was told that
that's like all the prequels want to show is just like how he was like his rebellious side before they got to the side where like to give him a reason to give a shit about him. You certainly don't the first time you see him, but
Yeah, exactly. It took me a couple of times of watching it through too before I made that decision. Oh, and by the way, the newest one, not Solo, but the one right before that, I'm coming up blank on the name. The Rogue One, was it Rogue One, or was it the Last Jedi?
Well, wait, what was the original question? When
Oh no, there was no question. It was just I was trying to remember which one it was. The second to the last one. The Last Jedi is a very I love nostalgia for starters, and The Last Jedi could very well be my second favorite movie as a new Star Wars fan. Because, and not obviously, I'm not going to give any spoilers for this one because it's recent enough to where people actually probably haven't seen this. Yes, but there's just certain things that I got as a new Star Wars fan that I didn't think I would get, if that makes any sense. Like something that I was gifted, like you say you were gifted more movies. Like I feel like as a new Star Wars fan, yes, gifted. Like I as a new Star Wars fan, I was gifted something that I didn't think I would receive. And I don't know how did as a obviously you like probably all of them just because they're Star Wars, but where does that one rank on your list?
Well, I mean, just for the sake of spoilers, like I don't know, unless you want to go down, I don't know.
Well, we might have to have that conversation tomorrow night.
Yeah, like I that's on the spot. Like I don't know if I can answer that because
it's too big of a question.
Question you've asked me all night.
So anything else? Any of the other building rocket science we were good with, but if anything Star Wars related, it's gonna break the bank.
Yeah, I did write some bullet points, as you say.
Well, how about this? We're at an hour and a half.
Oh, actually, you know what? Fuck that. Oh.
Go for it, man. Wild out.
All right. Warning, spoilers ahead. As the kids say on Reddit.
Warning, spoilers ahead.
So, I don't know. Last Jedi is a good flick. It's just, I think we just keep wanting one of them to be as good as the original, and they're not gonna. And it's like, why would you want that in the first place? So, of course, all these movies now, they're owned by Disney, and I used to not think it was going to be a problem. Like, 'cause people always thought, oh, it's going to be child-friendlier, and it's like, I mean, they do the Marvel movies, and I realized, like, this one was with parents, like, oh, yeah, they do the Marvel movies. And it's just, you know, it's that. It's going back to the original Star Wars in that sense, but, like, overdoing it, because it's just kind of being a Marvel movie. But it's still a good flick. Like, in the, you know, the Marvel films are good flicks. And, you know, they all kind of are the same. But, you know, so what? This one's in the Star Wars universe. And, yeah, people are mad because Luke dies. But, you know what? He had to at some point. It wasn't about him this time around.
They couldn't afford him in another movie.
I don't like the way he went out. Because, like, you know, like, whenever I think about, like, that's like a cool thing in screenwriting when you see in a movie. I can't even think of a fucking example. But more so than, like, an epic battle, but, like, not to sound like a fucking hippie. But, like, when there's, like, this one defiant act of passivity, where it's just, like, people lay down their arms. It's kind of how I felt with that, like, last lightsaber fight with Luke, where he just, like, dodges and just, like, gets him angry, you know. And he's like, hey, Kylo, not even here.
Yeah.
Like, puts away, you know?
See, I never thought that I would get I never thought I would get Yoda.
Oh, and the Yoda scene was great. That was the best part of that movie.
Hands down.
Like, in their attempt to, like, you know, always, like, go back, maybe, you know, they kind of nailed it with Yoda, because that was Empire era Yoda. So they did pretty well with that.
Yeah, that was my the thing that I was gifted. Like, I felt like as a new Star Wars fan, I got a movie. Like, this was my movie. Like, the original 3, like, that wasn't mine as a kid. Like, I got one that was mine. Like, I see this new, and I have Yoda now. It's like, this is fucking great. I never thought I would get that in a new Star Wars movie. But I dug it.
Exactly. I'm speechless. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's no need. Star Wars is awesome. I might watch episode 3 tonight. What time is it? No, I'm not gonna make it tonight. But
well, you should anyway.
Yeah, I should anyway. But you know what is funny is, in all actuality, instead of watching something new that I haven't seen in forever, I'm going to 100% do 2 things for certain. I'm going to turn on Jurassic World, which I've watched every day for like the last 8 days. And when I go to sleep, I'm going to have Parks and Recreation going, because that is literally how I've fallen asleep for over a year.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it.
I remember when I first told you I started watching Parks and Rec, where I was like, in the very beginning, when I was doing nothing but watching Parks and Rec, I was watching the complete series like 2.5 times a week. Like, it was playing in the living room, it was playing in my room. I would wake up in the middle of the night, hit continue watching. Unhealthy.
It's all right. You like a show, you like a show.
I like
it's like background noise while you're doing something else.
I don't have to think. It subdues my subconscious enough to where I can actually get shit done. Yeah, there's that.
Do you clean the house to Parks and Rec?
Yes. I don't know. Weird thing. I've been keeping my house pretty clean. Like there's not really now. Right now, it's a wreck, but I've been keeping my house like pretty clean. Like I'm getting to where clutter bothers me.
I wasn't questioning the cleanliness of your house. I just
No,
have another like household activity to do besides watch the show that's on currently.
yeah, I was segueing. I was saying usually when I used to before I began doing that, I would put a record on, and by the time that record was ready to be flipped, I felt like I had cleaned enough. So that was like, okay, you know what? Just put a record on, clean until you have to flip the record. When you flip the record, you can do it. You can slack off. So you
6 songs worth.
yeah, exactly. Like I'll give you 15 minutes of cleaning. But yes, Parks and Recs always going on in the world. So anyway, before we bore these good people of the world anymore,
I do have to say one more thing.
one more thing.
All right, so a minute ago when you were talking about like what you loved about the Yoda scene,
Yes.
and then Last Jedi, like I had just taken a big old fucking hit. It was like hailing, like thinking about something else.
Speechless.
Turned around and like you were finishing your thought, and I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, man, it's all
Kinda
good.
like I would have had something else to say, but like I was just like, man, fucking high and drunk, man.
It's quite all right.
Yeah.
It's quite all right, friend.
No,
Well,
yeah. Frank Oz, stellar job as Yoda in Last Jedi. Said everything he needed to say. Did it exactly how he had to do it. Sure.
it was
Bravo.
good. Bravo. I'm glad that I got Yoda in one of my movies. Stoked for that.
Shit. Man. This has been a hell of a ride.
It has been a hell of a ride. And we're going to do this again for sure.
I think we kind of have to now.
Who's going to ask me? You are?
I said I think we kind of have to now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely we have to now. We left too many stones turned. Is that the right way to say that backwards?
No, I like the way you put that.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we left too many stones unturned.
You want to set up a Star Wars episode?
You know what? Let's set up a Star Wars episode. We'll do a full Star Wars episode. We can actually do a Star Wars. It would probably have to be more than one episode.
Nah, actually, I take it back. Everybody does a Star Wars podcast. You don't want to fall into that category. I don't want to sully your good name.
I mean, I appreciate your concern, but I think that we're safe. I don't know that anybody who listens to this podcast would mind skipping over one if they don't want to listen to it.
Well, phooey of them.
Phooey to them. Phooey to them. But
Well, I don't know, 67. There might be more than a few.
you never know. We got to find our demographic and go for it either way. Once we find that, we're good. I've been trying to keep these episodes as informational as I can when I'm speaking myself. Like because I feel like I don't want to sit here and just talk to these people alone and not give them some sort of like substance or content that might help them in their lives, you know. So I have to do that to warrant doing episodes by myself. But if I have a guest, I actually kind of like the just free form conversation style instead of like having a lot of bullet points and things. Like I wrote down like 6 questions here I wanted to ask you, and I'd ask you all of them. I did write down here though, what are you watching now other than porn?
You. That's all I have on.
Oh, I mean, not right this second, but when I was talking about the 3 things, I was like, all right, so give people 3 things to watch, not porn.
Oh, you took yourself, like, don't tell them about the porn, don't tell them about the porn.
Yeah, don't bring up the porn. Don't bring up Reddit. Don't bring up. I already went too far.
Man, I wish I had something to promote as far as like just something cool to watch, but I don't know. I mean,
Well, we're gonna do this again. You got plenty of time to think about it next time. It's honestly my fault for not giving you the. I kind of just dropped that on you.
Oh, you didn't Carson me.
Yeah, I David Letterman. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Norm Macdonald videos lately.
Oh yeah.
And
something tells me he didn't give his guests the questions beforehand.
Oh no! Well, this happened to him. Like he went on David Letterman or whatever, and they give him a list of questions or whatever that they're going to ask so that you can be prepared to answer it. And David Letterman totally he's supposed to set up Norm for a joke, but instead he goes a totally different route, and Norm goes on with the joke anyway, and it's just awkward as fuck. It's just, I don't know, it's pretty funny.
That's usually how he goes about his business.
Gosh, Norm, he's so good. He's been narrating my thoughts over the last couple of weeks.
Have you seen the moth joke?
The moth joke?
Yeah.
Nah.
You've never seen the moth joke?
I mean, actually, I probably have. Because I kind of remember the weird way he was saying moth.
Well, there you go.
There you go. The moth joke, ladies and gentlemen. Norm Macdonald.
Closing argument, all of you.
The closing statement for all of you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. We have got an hour and 44 minutes of content here for you. and we're putting air quotes around content. But let's sign off. Give the good folks of the My Stuff podcast a good farewell there, Brother Seth.
Cheers. Do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do, man. Cheers,
But, I don't know. Live it up, however shitty that may be.
There you go. Live it up, however shitty it may be. Don't get Weinsteined. Don't get bathrobed. Be careful with yourselves out there, world. Seth, love you, buddy. Good to talk to you. I will see you tomorrow night.
Thanks for having me.
See you tomorrow night at the old.
Caller, love the show.
Thanks, man. First time caller. You're the first caller ever on this one.
Well.
We can only go up from here.
All right.
All right, later, brother. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Have a great day.
Yeah, man.
Trivia tomorrow. Merle's Inlet, 7 o'clock. All right, bye.
Yep. Seth Scolaro, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only. So yes, as he was saying, trivia, which is by the time you get it, will be tonight technically. So Mellow Mushroom trivia Thursday nights. Seth hosts. It's always a good time, and trivia is not. This trivia it's a little different than team trivia. If you play team trivia, this is a little bit more difficult. So if you go to team trivia and you get bored with like this shit's too easy, come to Mellow Mushroom and check us out on Thursdays with Brother Seth. Thank you guys for listening. As far as things to watch and listen to, we talked about The Punisher, so watch The Punisher. We talked about what else did we talk about? Watch The Punisher. Listen to whatever you want to listen to. Watch the Norm Macdonald. Watch the Moth joke. Watch any Norm Macdonald video. Just watch Norm. Your life will be better if you just watch a little Norm. So there's that. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Peace, bitches. Hey guys, how's it going? How you living? Good. Glad to hear that. So I'm going to go ahead and warn you. Me and Brother Seth Scolaro, we're talking in this one. Seth is a host of trivia at Mellow Mushroom on Thursdays in Merle's Inlet. And I'm not sure the other days. He also does Florence, Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach in the off season. So we're going to keep trivia going here in Merle's Inlet for quite some time. So come on out to it so we can keep it on going on Thursdays. So me and Seth started talking. I only had like 6 or 7 questions I wanted to ask. So I asked those questions, and we really had no rhyme or reason to this. It was a normal conversation. We went off on tangents, but we didn't. I think that there wasn't too many incomplete thoughts. There were a couple things that we didn't elaborate on as much as we should. But we're going to be doing this episode again, and going to be getting him in here on here in person the next time. He called in this time. We had a call in. I set up like literally just a speakerphone here, and we're going to be doing it in person next time, so the audio quality will be a little bit better. And I think the audio quality turned out okay. So there's that. Also, the things to watch and listen to this week, or this episode rather. I told you I would have you one on Sunday today, but I unfortunately do not. I will tell you to maybe watch The Punisher on Netflix for conspiratorial reasons. Also, I was just naming random ass Norm Macdonald videos, but yeah, watch some Norm. But we'll have a legitimate watch and listen to watch and things listen to for you next Sunday, which I think Sunday may be a late episode as well. I'll be coming back from Boone that day. So Cornbread's going up to Boone day after tomorrow, and going to be doing some jamming up there on the mountaintops, screaming from the mountaintops, folks, singing songs of salvation to soothe the saddened soul. Jesus, I'm delirious. I got to get the fuck out of here. All right. So thank you guys so much for listening. Please donate to our GoFundMe page so that we can upgrade this studio a little bit better. Leave us reviews on iTunes, and I will love you forever and dance at your wedding. So there's that. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, episode number 35 of my stuff. 35 already. Enjoy. All right. Let's see how much space we got here. Oh, I got to turn this up. I turns this down. Episode number 35 of my stuff. 35 already. Wow. Enjoy. 55 to 35 seconds is enough. 5 seconds is enough. 5 seconds ain't enough for everything, boss. What is going on in my head? I'm a crazy person. And that's all right. Right? Tyler Brown told me that I should leave as much up as behind the scenes as I could so you guys can. He said he likes it when No Agenda does that. So I'm going to start doing that and just. Oh, no. No, why did I do that? Fuck, I did it again. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that. Yeah, you guys, I'm going to let this roll out. Maybe I should start editing them at the end now, but maybe I won't. Also, my phone's going to die. So I should probably just go ahead and end this. Guys, love you, mean it. Thanks for listening. We've done great things as far as the podcast in the last few weeks. We've been steadily in the top 100 in society and culture on Podomatic, and that is all because of you guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Love ya. In the voice of great Michael Swain. Love ya. That wasn't a good Swain. Oh well. Small beans? Small beans? Small beans? Maybe small beans. Maybe one day. Small beans today. Hot beans tamale. There's a south of the border trick. See, my brain's fucked up. Sorry, I'm getting out of here. Bye.